I want to show you how to make some really fun recipes using one of my favorite kitchen tools, which is this Hanson silicone baking mat. It works just amazingly well and I use it almost every day. We're going to make kale chips, and these make nice munchy little kale chips, and we're going to make them just with a tad of olive oil and a little sea salt. So I've rinsed my kale, and now I'm just going to pat each leaf dry, and then I'm going to rip them into small segments, leaving out this big vein that runs down the center. Okay, now as you can see, we have a bowl of our kale pieces, and they look so good, and we have a lot of kale stems. So if you're making soup or anything, this would be great to save for some really luscious things like that. What we're going to do is drizzle a little olive oil on it, mix it up by hand, and then sprinkle sea salt on it. We're going to put it on a baking mat and into the oven and bake it for just a very short time. Okay, the next step, you can see we've got our kale and it's nicely oiled, and I'm going to be placing them each piece on the silicone baking mat that's on my pan. And as you can see, my cookie sheet, you can see what happens when you don't use a silicone baking mat. So you want to take your kale and place it side by side onto the baking mat. So as you can see, I've got a pretty full mat with my kale over here, so I had to break out a second baking mat and cookie sheet so that I could finish off my kale. Okay, now I'm going to put them in the oven, and my oven's not large enough to put them both on the top shelf, so I'm going to put one on the top shelf and one on the second shelf, and then I'm going to, at about 5 minutes, rotate them. Okay, let's check our kale chips. It's been about 12 minutes. Look at that.